Okay, Thanksgiving is fast approaching, and I've had several friends suggest that I add to my YouTube videos my recipe for old-fashioned candied yams. It's a family favorite. My grandma made them, my mom made them, my great-grandma made them, I make them. I'm usually the one to bring them to family gatherings, and they're just a real favorite. So I can just share just a little batch I'm going to make just so that you can see what I do. I have a sweet potato that's baked just nice and tender. It's not mushy or anything. Need to take the peel off of it. It'll peel very nicely. Oh, before I take the peeling all off, I'm going to take and get this going. I have a cup of brown sugar and about a quarter of a cube of butter. All goes into this little pan. So while that's doing that, I'll finish peeling this sweet potato. Thanksgiving is just in a couple of days. I'll be making a bigger batch of these, but I did want to share because I had several people ask. It's kind of fun to do this, make these videos. A few people are looking at them. It's a start. My family in California is having a huge gathering at my niece's. She's got this wonderful barn that they can do events in, and they're going to have a huge Thanksgiving get together. I said if I could teleport, I'd say, beam me up, Scotty, and I would go. But we're in Tennessee now. So potatoes all peeled. Have to keep an eye on this because you don't want it to boil. You just want that butter to melt, and it makes a wonderful sugary substance to put on top. So then I take the potatoes and cut them in, maybe 3/4 of an inch or so, however thick, and depending on the size of the pan and how many I'm doing. This would probably serve a couple people. If you wanted to make a whole batch, you probably want to use maybe 4 or 5 sweet potatoes, and you'd have, plenty. Um, and then you would want to use a pound of brown sugar and a whole cube of butter, maybe a little bit more than a whole cube, um, to make the syrupy concoction that goes on the top. These are different than what a lot of people make them, and this is how my family's always done it. And we always call them candied yams. These are actually sweet potatoes, they're not yams. There is a difference. And like I said, you don't want this to boil, you just want the butter to melt where you have a thick, very thick, sugary substance to pour over these potatoes. This is almost ready. And like I say, this would probably serve a couple, 2 or 3 people maybe, if each person had a couple slices of potato. But the key is this syrup. And it's getting very close. Like I said, don't let it boil. Just let it all melt and get runny enough to pour. This is just about right. I don't know if you can see that consistency or not, but it's quite thick. Then I'm just going to take it and pour it. You'll see how thick it is. It sort of sits on top of everything, makes a nice coating. This would probably do more than one sweet potato, but just for the ease of measurements, it's a cup and a quarter of a cube of butter. And this is what it looks like. You see how it coats the top of the sweet potatoes? And then before you serve it, put it in the oven for maybe 30 minutes, nice hot, and everything melts and the sugars go into the sweet potatoes, and it's just wonderful. So give this a try. I hope you enjoy it. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. I know we will. And, oh, I'm supposed to say subscribe and like. Anyway, have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you try this. Enjoy.